So at Computex this year, we announced two of our new Extreme peripherals. And the first one is on shelf and ready to race to your battle station. This is the ROG Azoth Extreme keyboard. And we have one here. We're going to show it off in a minute, but I wanted to show off some stuff on the product page first to kind of describe, because I'm not going to open it up today. I had thought about it, but this is already complex enough for me as it is. For those of you that don't remember, the original Azoth, which I have here and have been using for about a year, was kind of our appeal to the hardcore mechanical keyboard enthusiast community, right? The people that like to kind of customize and swap out switches and do all kinds of stuff like that. Obviously, we make a lot of different keyboards with different mechanical switches, but the keyboard community has gotten a taste for things a little bit more and more premium as the years have gone on. You know, aluminum chassis, smoother linear switches, different types of like plate materials and things like that. And so we made the ROG Azoth, a super premium customizable keyboard with hot swap switches to kind of appeal to that segment of the community. The Azoth Extreme, what you're seeing here, is an evolution of that. It uses the same 75% layout. Sorry, Lane, I know you're a number pad fanatic, but
I can deal with it. I mean, this thing's pretty cute.
Did you get a chance to get touch it at Computex?
I played around with the Harp Extreme more than the Azoth. I don't know if I actually ever typed on it.
It's really nice. But you also know, because do you have the Snow switches on your Strix keyboard?
I believe so. Yes, I believe it's Snow.
I mean, the RX the NX Snow switches were a huge deal when we brought them to the Azoth last year, and unfortunately, I got my Azoth before those switches came out. But so you know how the switches feel, which is a big part of this.
Yes.
But a lot of people think that how a keyboard feels and sounds is mostly about the switches. And I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that's like 50 to 65% true. Switches have a lot to do with how your keyboard feels and sounds, but there's also a lot of other stuff that contributes to that. So Lane's, Strix, Strix Scope 296 wireless keyboard with Snow switches feels very different from this Azoth Extreme with Snow switches. Same switches, but a very different feel. And a lot of that is because of chassis. Right, so the chassis is made from an aluminum alloy from top to bottom. So the original Azoth was just aluminum on the top, I believe, or aluminum on top, plastic on the bottom. The Extreme is full metal all the way through. It's hefty, feels like super, really, really hefty in your hands. But that also contributes to the feel and the sound of the switches, right? You get a little bit less of that echo in the case. Like with a plastic case, you get a little bit more of that kind of deeper switch sound, which a lot of people like. Like, that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. But then this gives you a bit more of I should turn it off before I start typing random things. A little bit more of like a little bit more higher pitched, a little bit less echo in the case. So
yeah, I was gonna say the Carnix didn't really even pick
it
that
didn't.
up.
It's my sorry guys, my background noise cancellation is on. But you can see actually that we have some typing tests on our YouTube channel, so you guys can go check that out if you want. The other piece of the puzzle here is the what's inside the chassis. So we have a bunch of different layers inside of like foam and things like that. So the positioning plate can be made of all sorts of materials. We went with carbon fiber for this one, but a lot of people, you can do plastic, brass, all kinds of things. But carbon fiber is nice because it's really rigid. So it gives you that again, firmer kind of premium feel. But it absorbs vibrations really well. So it gives you this kind of really crisp kind of typing feel as well. We've got that silicone pad on the bottom, which you can unscrew it and take it out if you want, put it back in. There's some pour-on dampening foam, which again, like decreases some of that echo for a more kind of crisp typing feel. And you guys can go in and like pull some of that stuff out, or put other materials in if you want, and it's going to change that typing feel, which is really cool. So I want to let's pull up the actual product here. Here we go. Here is the Azoth Extreme. Line it up here. Okay, so you'll notice I'm gonna put I have my other Azoth here. Now it has custom keycaps and stuff on it. You can go back and see the stream we did last year where I totally customized the thing. Very similar size, same layout, same OLED screen along the top. It's going to turn on. There we go. But obviously, you'll notice a few differences. Besides my keycaps, the screen is now color. It's a little bit smaller to give a little bit more space between the escape key and the F1 key here, so you don't accidentally hit that. Some other minor little changes like that. The knob has a glossy finish on it. We'll look at that a little bit closer in a little bit. But what I wanted to show was this piece on the back. So the other thing that lets you customize this further is this switch we put on the back. And there is usually actually a really nice metallic nameplate here. And mine must have gotten lost in the box, or whoever shipped me this sample forgot to put the nameplate back on. But usually it's got a very nice nameplate on the back. And when you lift that up, you can reveal this little switch. This adjusts the gasket mount inside the keyboard to give you either a firmer or a softer typing feel. That's in addition to all of the other stuff we've done to it, and that you can go in and unscrew and like customize the dampening foam and stuff like that. But if you like things a little bit softer, especially if you're typing for long periods of time, you can flip that into soft mode. If you want things a little bit firmer, especially for gaming, you can flip it into that harder mode. So not only does it allow you to pick which one you like, but it allows you, because it's so easy to just flip that switch, you could flip it for different situations, which is really cool. So once again, like, this is really geared toward people who want to customize every single aspect of that look and feel of their keyboard.
That's actually very interesting that there's like an analog pressure switch on something so digital, so cutting edge.
It is different. It's definitely an interesting kind of feature. I had not really seen a lot of things like that. And the difference is, like, it's subtle, but those subtle differences are what make your keyboard yours. What's going to make your Azoth Extreme different from my Azoth Extreme, on top of the switches and the keycaps and all of that stuff. And I mean, I didn't mention this before, but keycaps, the material and shape of your keycaps can also affect the sound and feel of the typing. It's not just switches. Switches are just one small piece of the puzzle. Now, that said, this does have hot swappable switches. I have my... Can't quite open that drawer because my camera tripod's in the way. One sec. I'm going to turn this off for a minute. We do include a keycap puller and a switch puller, both in the box. So if you don't want to use those NX Snow switches or whatever that it comes with, which, again, guys, these are so nice. These are linears. I'm not usually a linear switch guy. These may have converted me. They feel so freaking nice.
I'm a huge fan. It's great for gaming. It's great for just normal everyday typing.
Yeah. You're using them every day. I want to get, like, I don't think we sell them separately, but I want to, like, maybe I'll just steal all the switches out of this before I send it back, and then I can use them in my keyboard. And whoever gets this,
they'll never
missing
notice.
a nameplate and switches.
They'll never notice. They'll be like, "This is how it comes stock. This is really premium."
It does not type. It has no typing feel. There are no switches. But then we also have a switch puller, so you could pull that switch out, and you can hot swap any switch you want in. So if you prefer a kind of a more typical, cherry brown or cherry blue, which we may also sell this with. Let me double check here. I think right now it's just the Storm and Snow, but again, you could swap in any switch you want. If you're like a fan of the Zelios or whatever, like Holy Pandas. I don't know what boutique switches the kids are using these days, because I kind of went through all of those a few years ago and settled back on browns. That's how much of a basic boy I am. So yeah, that's all. Like, all of that is how we built this to be the most premium feeling keyboard we have ever put together. Now, it also comes with a few other things in the box. You've got our ROG polling rate booster, which is really cool. You can either plug the wireless receiver into this or plug it in wired. You plug this into your computer, and then you plug the keyboard cable into this, and you can increase the polling rate up to 8,000 hertz for that super fast response time. We've got an extra pair of switches in this little box, and a right control key. This is really interesting. So we've got a co-pilot key on here. On the bottom, you'll notice. Yeah, we've got co-pilot keys on our keyboards now. But if you want to swap that out for a regular right control key, you can do that. I thought that was a nice little touch.
That's very thoughtful.
If you like the more traditional look.
And then 2 spares in case, for whatever reason, one of them goes bad.
Mechanical keyboards obviously have a really, like, long lifespan, and those switches are designed to last a really long time. But I found that just once in a while I'll get like dust in a switch or something like that. And sometimes I can like just get some lube in there, or like get like a compressed air and just blow it out. But the beauty of a hot swap keyboard, and we have an
Yeah.
article about this on the site because Eric did this too, is like if you have a key that's misbehaving, just pop it out and pop in another switch. Or what I've done in the past when I've run out of extra switches, because I have them in like multiple keyboards or whatever, I'll take the switch out of the page down key or like the right control, because I don't use the right control key ever. I'll like take the switch out of that and pop it in, put the bad switch in right control key since it never gets used.
Sure.
It works. It
Sure.
works.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, it'd be like print screen or page
yeah.
up or whatever.
Exactly. So many unused keys you could like steal switches from. And then we also have these magnetic feet. So we have two different like levels of magnetic feet. There's like a short one and a tall one. So instead of having like the fold out feet, these look really nice and feel really premium. They got little rubber tipped feet on them, and you can kind of just pop those on to fit whatever your preferred angle of typing it.
Very cool.
Fun fact, if you're a touch typer, you're actually not supposed to use the feet. The feet are for if you have to look at the keyboard, but without the feet is the most ergonomic if you can touch type.
Well, that explains why I want the highest feet possible on every keyboard that I use.
I'll never get used to the way you type, man. Lane types like this. He can do it normally with the left hand, but the right hand is like hunting and pecking, and I'm like, how do you do that?
If you guys all remember, what was it? Somebody teaches typing. Was it Mavis Beacon teaches typing?
Yeah.
I always got a higher score when I did it that way, so I never learned the forefinger and thumb for space method. And my mom was the computer teacher. It's just a symphony of fails with my typing style.
What's funny is that he's our copywriter too, so he's just over there writing copy half as slow as he could. So finally, most exciting potentially is the new screen. So the previous Azoth, as you saw, had a black and white OLED display, which was cool. You could put custom animations on it. You could use this wheel to like change music tracks and things like that. But the Azoth Extreme improves this in two ways. I'm going to try and get this a little bit closer. So you can see that the animations are full color, right? They're higher resolution, so it gives you more options for animations and it just looks nicer. But here's what else is cool. It is now a touch screen, so you can swipe through the different animations with just a swipe of your finger. And they're not showing up as great on camera as I would like them to, but trust me, the colors look amazing in person. It is a really, really like sharp display with really vibrant colors. And then here's what else is cool. If you swipe to the right, then you've got your different, like you can show your CPU frequency and things like that. So you can navigate.
You never need an OSD for that.
It's not giving it to me now, but it was a second ago. Maybe I have to do something on my computer. You got your KPS, all that stuff. So it's a little bit more useful than it was on the original Azoth. I still really like the original Azoth OLED display, but the full color with the animations and the extra stuff there is pretty cool. You've got a lot of different functionality here. This is our ultimate top of the line, no holds barred keyboard. Okay, if you want the absolute best of the best, this is the keyboard to get. Now, I have to warn you, it will ruin every other keyboard for you. So if you're really into keyboards, though, it's well worth it. So this keyboard is available to buy now, at least in the US and probably a bunch of other regions. It's been on shelf for a little bit. So check out retailers in your region to see if it's offered. And yeah, go check it out. Now, guys, this is just part of our show. If you are watching this on YouTube after we have aired, you're not getting the whole show. During our full stream, we do our main topic where we show off a new product or something like that, but we'll also talk about what else is new on shelf this week, what products are on sale. We're going to go through some cool sales right now. We'll jam about games, other stuff like that. Plus, Jake, when he's here, streams games on our channel. Lane and I have streamed a couple games on this channel recently, but Jake's coming back and he's going to be streaming a ton of stuff. So, plus giveaways. You only get to partake in the giveaways if you watch live. So, definitely follow us on Twitch and subscribe to us on YouTube and join our Discord to keep up about when we're going live and things like that. Follow us on social media, all of those great ways to keep up with us with new product announcements and new live streams.